My name is Amber Reed, R-E-I-D, birthday 12/27/90. I'm turning 32, but like I'm almost positive my like mental age, like my brain is stuck at 17. I'm actually starving, so oh, okay, yes, I troll. Whatever, Trollin has entered the chat. I'm totally fine with a clickbait title because you guys know I love me a clickbait title. You're not paying attention to your health, you don't care about your health, you don't care about your body, you want to die, you could have ate healthy, you chose not to, do you really need to go on vacation, you buy health insurance instead. I just don't want to hear it.
No one cares!
Hey guys, guten Abend aus Deutschland, good evening from Germany. It's been about a week since Miss Amber has posted her last video, and I ain't mad at it. She's posted another video today. It's titled Turning to Alcohol, Diagnosed with BPD, and Saying Goodbye Forever. The whole thing is roughly 20 minutes long. And right off the bat, I want to say turning to alcohol, she's been doing that. Diagnosed with bipolar personality disorder. Yeah, I'm betting more sociopath. And saying goodbye forever is just clickbait. I can tell you that right off the bat. She's been asking for us to ask her questions, and so she's got nothing. And so I'm assuming this video is just gonna be a sit-down video with her lying her ass off. It's a crying thumbnail, so homegirl is desperate for money. Even though I've been suspecting that she's been pre-filming non-tent for the December, you know, for the Vlogmas time frame. But yeah, let's see what she has to say today.
Hey guys, welcome to a new video.
Hey girl, looking at the viewfinder already. All right.
So today we're gonna do like a Q&A type style.
Of course.
I feel like I haven't done just like a straight up Q&A in a very long time. And I know there's probably a lot of questions, a lot of things you guys want to know, want me to talk about.
No. There's a difference between we would like to have the answers to some questions, but when you talk about stuff, you lie. And so there's a difference between the two.
Verify, explain, whatever it may be. So it's perfect time to do that. I know I have not really been posting, and honestly it's because so much is like going on up here.
Yeah, you've been drinking your self into a stupor every night, apparently, judging from what you've been doing on TikTok.
That it's hard for me to sit and focus, plus I've been busy out doing things.
Right.
And it's just like I went through a very big moment by, you know, moving to a completely different state, living by myself for the first time in my life.
That was weeks ago. You need to stop milking situations that all of us out here go through on a regular basis, you know? In
this way, around family that I haven't been around since I was 18 years old. I'm 30.
And they still don't want to be, or I don't know, that still is the wrong word, but they don't want to be seen in your vlogs with you. Strange, ain't it?
32 now. I was in a relationship with a person that I thought I was going to be with forever. That I literally...
You were in a relationship with a person, then you proved to them that you're not worth the effort because you're not putting any effort into saving your life. Then she turned herself into your caretaker, and you couldn't even hold her as that. So she announced that she would take off, and you had to move, and you're still gaining weight. She's sitting there with the slimming filters on, and yet look at the size of that girl. Unbelievable.
Really thought I was going to marry. There was a lot of different things happening, and which are still happening. And it's just like I was filming every single day and uploading every other day. And I think I just got burnt out because it really was just like so much at once, and I was feeling extremely overwhelmed, and I'm kind of just like...
Yeah, imagine being overwhelmed with the fact that strangers pay for your way. You don't have to do anything but sit in front of your camera and bullshit your way through life, and you have no other obligations, and you feel overwhelmed by that. Imagine that.
Disappeared, so I do want to say I'm sorry for that. Okay, so I actually posted 3 days ago anything you want me to talk about in an upcoming video. I posted that on my community tab, so I'm just gonna go in order. Obviously I'm gonna skip over things I either A, don't want to talk about, things I feel like that are like too disrespectful for me.
There you go. That already excludes anything that would be interesting to hear the answer to.
Or like repeat questions, but I'm just gonna start from the top and work my way down. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first question is, why are you suddenly no longer complaining about any of your multiple health issues that were always causing you to be set back, or your mental health problems that you felt the need to feel to use as a crutch every day suddenly healed from everything? So before I answer that, I just want to say that's really sad that like when people are vocal about their like mental health or physical stuff, that people say, oh, you're using that as a crutch. When it's like when things are too late or things have gone too far or you are too far gone, people are like, oh, you should have spoke up, you should have said something. And it's like,
wow. The only thing I'm gonna say to that is, for somebody that's been milking the size of her body and her lack of social skills and her mental disorders for 10 years. It is now November 2023. She started doing this in November 2013. She's been milking it all, and now she's giving that answer. That's a joke. People that continually complain about their mental health and that do not get help, but that continue to complain about the effects of their mental health cannot be taken seriously anymore. There is help out there, even in the United States. She was once, I don't want to say rich, but making, you know, roughly $10,000 a month before tax, that is. She could have afforded therapy and medical treatment, and she was playing around with it. She was calling us haters, and she wasn't getting the help that she needed. And she is still a fireworks of mental disorders sitting in front of us, just living her, and not best life, but her confused life on a public platform. And yeah, I cannot take that answer seriously.
like I am very much that person that I do speak up, I do say something, but I've noticed I have taken a lot of steps back in that regard.
Because you've been called out lying. And that's when people tend to say, okay, maybe I'm not a good liar, or maybe a lie is not worth getting all the backlash. I think that's the case.
Because I am feeling constantly judged. I am feeling like people think that I do use it as a crutch or...
I don't think it's the judgment. I think it's you not understanding why you're not getting away with lies.
An excuse. So I think that's the reason why that I'm not talking about those things anymore, because like even in this person's question, they said like, why are you no longer complaining about these things? I never feel like I'm coming from a complaining spot.
Wow. Wow. That is rich. All she ever does is complain, except for the last few vlogs, maybe. You know, playing bingo, being in church for 10 seconds, and being in a casino.
I've always just tried to take pride in like being vocal about my mental health or like things that I'm going through.
Yeah, like the breakup that you milked for what, 2 months, almost 3. You know, just complaining and being depressed and all of that. And that is not the problem. We all get depressed out here. I don't think there's anybody out here that has a 100% positive life. But you complain about things, and then you have the opportunity to change them. And you do not take advantage of that.
But overall, the reason why I'm not talking about these things anymore is because I have taken a step back.
And that is why your views have dropped the way they have. You know, imagine, Amber, if you're watching this, you're watching a channel where the person has 0 social skills, alienates and infuriates everybody they come into contact with, including the audience on the internet. And so they take every opportunity they can to make the quick buck, to stir the pot, to lie. And Then when their views go down because nobody believes them anymore, they start withdrawing because they feel judged. That's where your explanation is for people not wanting to watch your content anymore.
Of talking about really personal things. And it's because of the response that I receive when I do that, because the response that I receive doesn't help me. It actually makes me feel worse. Have you noticed?
Well, you can always drink alcohol and keep overeating, which you've been doing, so you should feel great.
An improvement in your health overall. So yeah, I do notice improvement in my health, and I'm gonna come from like my stamina area type situation, because it's like I was actually talking to my mom the other night, and I was like explaining to her like how bad I was in 2019, because she didn't even know the extent of how bad I was, because it was just embarrassing.
Well, that's just all the way around delusional, because in 2023 she barely left the house when she was flapping her lips about getting weight loss surgery. You know what I'm saying? And she was packing on the pounds, and she was popping the Delta gummies. And so now she's talking about how bad her stamina was in 2019, when we watched her literally in her vlogs waddle down the hallway to get another takeout food delivery from the door, you know? She is completely off her rockers.
The only people who knew were the people that I lived with. It's like I was outside, I was actually taking a walk with my mom and Twinkie, and I was just like, I wouldn't have been able to do this in 2019, like not even remotely close. I am able to go and do things, science museum.
She's lying, she keeps shaking her head, and I'm getting the lying vibe from her. She's been getting bigger. She's sitting there with her arms resting on her hips, not even her thighs, but her hips. She's got the slimming filters on, and there's absolutely no way her stamina has increased. Maybe a teensy weensy bit because her mother has been trying to get her out of the house. But trust you me, she's been ordering that takeout food, and there's no weight loss going on at all.
Is a really good example of that. Whereas in 2019, I couldn't do those things. And even my mom was like, what do you think changed? Like, how do you think that you did that? Like, even though you're still the same size as you were. It's because it takes work. It takes hard work to build your stamina.
Yeah, now she's trying to get credit for things she's not accomplished. And it's just boring. It was infuriating the first few times when she did it, but now it's just boring. It's like next lie.
Like, it was very, very hard, because I still remember in 2019 when I tried to take a shower, like my legs would shake. I would be so out of breath.
Honey bun, sweetie pie, now you fit in the shower, you proved us that, but you still cannot take a shower. And so it makes no difference if you can stand up for longer than, let's say, a minute, that you're most likely in that shower, if at all. But we can see you waddling around and being out of breath, just standing somewhere talking. Miss me with all of that bullshit. We have eyes to see and ears to hear with.
Like, for even 30 seconds of me standing, I was like, it just felt like I was completely incapable as a person. It was terrifying. And
yet you kept overeating and worsening your health situation.
I remember feeling like I'm never going to change. I remember feeling like this is how my life is always going to be. And I had a really good friend at the time who experienced a lot of like the same things I was experiencing when it came to like my stamina, and like I literally couldn't even stand for 30 seconds. And I remember very well just like constantly talking to her about it and just saying like, is this how it's always going to be?
Or how does this thought come to her, that she had a friend that she cannot mention, even though we were aware of the friends that she had at the time? And why would you ask your friend if it's always going to be like this when it's up to you to change things? How weird is that?
Prison. And then slowly but surely over time, I said, no, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna stand for no reason. Like, there were times where I would purposely stand for no reason just to build those muscles that I had lost. And
girl, why are you doing this? We watched you in your vlogs even this year alone. This is a joke. I'm not sure why I'm still watching this, and there's gonna be different content on my, I mean, different content on my channel because I'm just done listening to her. I'm still gonna react to her, but yeah, this doesn't do anything for me. There's no change. She continues lying. She tries to get credit for successes she didn't have, and she's still sitting there on her swamp ass, not moving much. The last few vlogs have shown us that she does leave the house. She gets credit for that. But the fact that she stood in her shower in a dry bathroom. Uh, I'm saying this because she tried to indicate by having a towel around her hair and a towel not even wrapped all the way around her body, but just the front part, trying to indicate that she had just taken a shower, even though there was no steam in the entire room. I mean, that is just sick. She's trying to hide, well, not her food addiction, but the consequences of her food addiction, and that is she's continually gaining weight, and now she's sitting there talking again like somebody that's had so much success with what she's been doing, and she's sitting here telling us about it, even though we've watched her fail day after day.
Really, like a really big thing for me that changed was I stopped sitting while cooking. I stopped sitting while doing things where normally I would sit. Like,
Okay, but then you started ordering food every single day this year, you know? And so, how would you, in what world, in what parallel dimension would you be getting credit for being able to stand up to cook when you didn't cook, you know? I mean, you did cook a few meals this year, but not worth mentioning. And look at yourself, you must have done something wrong.
sometimes I even journal standing up. Like, you don't need to be sitting all the time. And the biggest one for me is
Just her saying that you don't need to be sitting all the time when that is 90% of her time. Let's say almost 100, because she even sleeps sitting up, because otherwise she would choke on the masses of fat and other stuff that press on her lungs.
every time I go to a store, I would tell myself, do not get on the scooter. I think a really big part of that, what made it like easier, was
The reason why you stopped doing that is because you started getting backlash. I told you back in 2019, if I see you on another scooter, I will report you to those stores because you were exceeding the maximum weight allowed on those scooters. And then you started threatening me. Remember that? And then we didn't see you on a scooter again after that. That is why you stopped, out of fear for backlash and consequences at the store, and not because you realized it's not a good thing to do.
was being with Feline because I felt ashamed and embarrassed. I did not want her to see me like that. So not one time while being in a relationship with her did I ever use a scooter.
I don't know about that.
But it's just all those tiny little things. It's just like
She just didn't film it anymore, maybe.
doing more, cleaning the house when there's no reason for it. It builds your stamina when you literally had none.
Wow, the TED Talks out of that girl, it's just ridiculous at this point. She's the one that couldn't pack her own stuff, so the only time things moved behind her in the old apartment were when Feline, the YB, the caretaker or former caretaker, came over to help her with stuff. Other than that, nothing moved behind her. She did film a few minutes here and there where she pushed a shelf around, scraped it across the wooden floor. And yeah, I gave her that. But other than that, she was sitting on that ass and she was not packing her things. And she was not doing what needed to be done.
I'm not talking about like the average person. I don't think that cleaning is going to help your stamina. I mean, go for it. But when you were...
It does a lot. When you vacuum clean, when you really clean, when you take everything off the shelves, wipe them down and put it back up, when you clean windows, yes, it does burn a lot of calories. But when you only do it 5 minutes every few months and then want to get credit for it while you're gaining weight, that ain't gonna work, you know?
pretty much bedbound, getting up and doing things that you normally wouldn't and doing them every single day, it makes it to where your stamina just improves. So then every single day you're able to do more and more. So now that it's been, what, 4 years since then? That person in 2019, she doesn't exist.
Honey bun, sweetie pie, compare yourself to the way you look back then. Please do. Because we have eyes out here and we do not suffer from the delusion that you suffer from.
Like the mentality I had, who I was on YouTube.
You were lying back then about your condition and we told you you're bedbound and you got mad at us. And then years later, or a year later, when was it? When she admitted to it in 2020, I can't remember. It makes no more difference at this point because she's lied so much. But yeah, while it was happening, while she was bedbound, she was lying about it. Then later on, she admitted that she was bedbound. And now she's couchbound, except for the few times her mom gets her to leave the house.
She doesn't exist anymore. Just the incapability of just living as a human, because here I am living on my own where I need zero help.
You're not living on your own. You might be living in that apartment by yourself, but you have all kinds of help. Let's be real and let's call a spade, right? You trying to get credit for things you do not do is just why? Because your soul knows, your body knows that you are lying right now.
Next question is, are you in pain going out so much? No, I'm not in pain, but like obviously I do have lipedema and lymphedema. So by moving more, I do swell more. So that is the part that...
Or is it the salt-laden food and the greasy food and all the wrong foods you allow yourself to ingest? Maybe also a little bit the alcohol, high caloric alcohol beverages. That you're drinking now because you think you can afford it. You are just full of shit, and it's just same shit, a different month, different year. But for 10 years you've been lying to yourself and you've been trying to lie to your audience.
It does suck a lot. That's one thing that my body can't get used to. Has Feline ghosted you? Okay, so the answer is no.
I think she has ghosted her, because if they were in touch, she would have mentioned it here and there, and she didn't. And so I don't think they're in touch.
But I really hurt her after we broke up by falling in love with someone else.
Which was another lie.
Hurt her a lot, and I take accountability
for trying to get YP to care about you again by pretending to be in love with someone else that you had just met on the internet, even though you were not leaving the house, which means you were doing that on purpose. You were trying to find somebody, even though, again, I don't believe the whole arc. I don't think she ever had anyone that she fell for, maybe that she talked to. And the desperation in her latest clips on TikTok prove that she's still trying to find a caretaker, and it hasn't worked so far. And Amber, if you're listening, if you're wondering why that is, it's because by now the ways your personality, your lying and all of the bad traits are all over the internet. Who would want to get involved with that unless they're a glutton for punishment? You know what I'm saying? And so I know you're dying to take those fat boobies out and swing them into the camera, but you can't because of terms of service on YouTube and TikTok and all of that. But the desperation, even in your case, has to come to a limit, you know?
I obviously just could not control falling in love with someone else.
You were lying when you said that you're not looking for anybody, you're not interested in another relationship. You went on the internet and all you ran into were trolls, because they were probably trying to teach you a lesson in, yeah, you should not be in a relationship right now, and it's just a waste of time, you know? Because you should heal, you should get help, you should get professional help. I still believe you should be in supervised care, inpatient care, and you should be medicated, because This is just the fireworks of the consequences of all kinds of mental disorders.
I very much fell in love. I did. And it just
No, you did not.
was really hard for her, and it became hard for me, and it became a very big mess. And it just...
I don't see that happening. I think what happened is that she tried to get Wipey to care again, and so she pretended to be in love. I mean, every few seconds on those live streams, she picked up the phone, and it was just ridiculous, and it was all fake.
really went to show like how much she did love me, and I felt horrible, and I tried to fix it, but I kept failing at fixing it.
Huh? Are we talking about the same timeline now? When you were popping Delta gummies like there was no tomorrow, you were gaining weight like there was no tomorrow, you were ordering takeout every single day, and you flaunted it in your vlogs. And that was the time you tried to... No, you didn't try at all. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
And it made it to where she doesn't even want to continue being my friend.
Caretaker.
So I went through like a whole separate heartbreak and
heartbreak, because you realized that you needed a caretaker in order to function in this world, and alienating so many people in a row, I mean, that's gotta burn.
Like, I just feel like I'm reliving the heartbreak just a million times over.
Dude, but you're not complaining in your vlogs at all, right? Dude, if I just went back 5 minutes in that vlog, or maybe 6, I would hear her say that. She is so full of shit. And I don't think she does it on purpose. I think she is that dumb, and her mental disorders have a strong grip on her.
We were cordial for a bit after she left. We would text. Then, like, almost daily I would text her, like, I love you, I miss you, because...
that I believe, that she tried to text YP.
I just felt like I needed her to know. And I needed her to know that I was sorry that I hurt her. I talked it over with a friend, and they said, I think it's time that you just, like, respect her and stop contacting her. And it's...
Yeah, I felt that coming on when they had this very, what did she call it, the very heartbreaking conversation with her ex-girlfriend. That was all scripted. It sounded like it was scripted from the first minute to the last, when they were talking about that they're gonna stay in touch, just like Becky and her had stated in live streams that they're gonna stay in each other's lives. Amber is such a horror of a human being that whoever makes it out of her vicinity, it does not want to be in contact with her, and she still doesn't get it. And here she is sitting there playing the victim, even though I recall, and I'm not sure what kind of a mental disorder that is. I recall every single clip where she was just being annoying as fuck. I mean, acoustically annoying, and just screeching and being obnoxious and not being self-aware at all, and just Wipey somewhere in the, you know, off camera, probably thinking, oh my gosh, that woman is gone. But Amber doesn't learn from her mistakes, and so she alienates one person after another, and here she is in Oklahoma with you know, only her mom in her life.
It's been really hard. This is going to sound dumb to some people, but I am on day 5 of not contacting her. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, that's so unhealthy. Trust me, I get it. I have mental illness.
Oh, yeah. That's the truth.
And Feline was my very best friend for like over 2 years.
And so was Becky, and so was Crystal, and so was Destiny. What she called a best friend, I wouldn't treat my worst enemies like that.
You know, I thought I was going to marry her, and it's just been really, really hard. So
let's get over it and not constantly milk it on our channel. How about that?
Actually, I'm taking a break on the whole drinking thing because I
all of a sudden, good for you.
felt like I was turning to it. I did go through a phase a couple years ago where I was turning to alcohol, and the last time I drank was on live stream. I was drinking whiskey. I literally don't know why you guys watch me. Why do you guys watch me? Oh my God. Because I was turning to alcohol because I just felt like...
And you've been drinking for weeks, let's be real. Let's not talk about April 2022, you know. Let's be real, you've been drinking, otherwise you wouldn't act like you have been on TikTok.
I needed something so I didn't have to feel what I was currently feeling. And that's when I told myself, okay, I need to stop drinking because I'm not going to use alcohol as a crutch. I'm not that person.
Okay, but you've been doing it for weeks now, so let's talk about that.
Or at least I thought I wasn't that person. But when I told myself I was going to stop drinking, I was able to do that. I didn't drink for about 1.5 years. And now I'm finding myself going back to that. Like at first I was like, you know what? Single era, I live by myself, have a couple drinks. There's nothing.
Yeah, a couple would probably be fine, but not the way you've been drinking.
Nothing wrong with that. But then I realized, okay, I like the way this makes me feel. I like that.
And you overdo it, and then you turn the camera on.
It's taking away certain emotions, heightening other emotions, and it's making me feel good. Then I started doing it more frequently, and I kind of want to just take like a little break until I heal a little bit more. Have you?
Trying to heal while overdoing the alcohol drinking is so insane. Is nobody that has any kind of pull in the state of Oklahoma watching this, or does nobody care? I'm beginning to get a feeling that when I look at how humanity is changing and how many selfie-taking, overeating, and body positivity, advertising or advocating people that have an IQ of what, 90 max, are on social platforms, I'm beginning to think that authorities just don't care anymore. They just let people ruin their lives. And here we have one of the best examples.
Finished unpacking. Yes, I unpacked within like 4 days.
Absolutely not. Oh my God, we still saw boxes behind you after that.
Of moving.
Unless you lied about what day it was in that apartment. But go ahead, Amber, go ahead.
Because I was just ready for all the boxes.
See, shaking her head while she's making statements. She can't even lie anymore. I mean, she never could. But by now she could. She should, if she had maybe practiced it, but no.
To be gone. I was ready for everything to be homey feeling. So it's been a hot minute since I've been done unpacking.
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about if you'd ever get back with one of your past girlfriends.
They wouldn't get back with her, so why ask that?
Oh my gosh. If circumstances were different, I would definitely get back with Feline. Yes.
Wow. Wow. There is no, you guys see that, right? I mean, it's idiotic to mention it in relation to Amber, but there is no closure. There were no talks had that would have indicated, okay, whose fault was it? Was it anybody's fault, or was it both of our faults? What was the behavior that led to our feelings changing? You know, was it caused by the other person, or was it just by neither one of them being ready for a relationship? I don't know, but her making that statement is just idiotic. But I keep pushing myself to think there's an 11-year-old sitting there talking about life, and that makes it easier.
Have you found a new therapist? I actually have not. So this is actually a good question to kind of lead into something else. A little bit of a backstory is, as you guys remember, I had to do 12 sessions of therapy.
You had to. You would have never done it if you hadn't had to.
To get weight loss surgery, because I was trying to do that. And then I did the 12 sessions, and then I continued seeing the same therapist, actually psychologist.
Only we didn't hear much about that anymore, did we?
I liked him a lot, so...
Just like we didn't hear about the father that was in critical condition in the hospital. he could have died for all we know.
So I stayed. And then remember when I told you guys, okay, well, I have to go to a new psychologist who actually specializes in something different, and I didn't feel comfortable saying what it was.
Yeah, because at the same time you were drinking, you were popping the Delta gummies, and so yeah, I get it, you know. Why you have to have a clear head in order for therapy to work, and so you can't self-medicate with everything that is within your reach and hope that it would work. So of course you didn't.
I actually only got to see that psychologist one time because I ended up moving to a completely different state and I wasn't able to keep the same psychologist, obviously.
You've been there for weeks.
But I guess now is the time to say, I really did not want to share this. I don't know why, but I think it's something that, like, out of the diagnoses I've got my whole life ever since I was 9, which I was 9 and diagnosed with depression for the first time because, like, I was in foster care, and just no 9-year-old should ever be diagnosed with that. But since
okay, here you go. Flaunting your mental disorders that you've been diagnosed with before, while not getting any help. I have zero sympathy for that. Zero.
Since then, you know, I've been diagnosed with OCD. I've been diagnosed with PTSD,
Absolutely not. Those were lies.
bipolar, and those things were like so much easier.
And if she didn't wear a diagnoses, which is the word, by the way, not diagnoses, if she didn't wear them like a badge but actually took them seriously, she would get treatment for them. But she tries to self-medicate with food, with alcohol, with drugs, and now with gambling. And so what can you say to that?
Easier for me to accept, and I don't really know why. I was actually diagnosed on my 19th session with my psychologist with borderline personality disorder. And for some reason,
whatever, it doesn't mean anything to me, because you've been throwing around the diagnoses like, I don't know, like it means something when you sit here and lie your ass off.
I had a hard time accepting that, and still have a hard time accepting that, because it's obvious that I have borderline personality disorder, and it's something that, like, I always purposely pushed away. Like, people would contact me and be like, you know, you seem like you have BPD, and I just automatically would shut them down and be like, nope, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. In my books, and I'm not repeating it because I can't, I cannot change my mind, or once I've said something, I'm gonna stick to it. That's not it. But I've been consistently getting a feeling since 2019, since I started watching her. I think it was in November 2018, that she's a full-blown sociopath. Look up the symptoms. I know she has a lot of the bipolar personality disorder symptoms too, but the sociopathic, or the symptoms of that would explain why she's so cold and there's no self-awareness, and why she's a chameleon. She's trying to emulate people around her, and now it's her mom. So now she wears the high pony because she's, you know, trying to be youthful just like her mom is. Her mom can't let, you know, act her age. She's giggling like a little witch, and, you know. And so, yeah, I'm most definitely thinking she's a full-blown sociopath. Otherwise, it would not have, in my books, not have been possible to treat her pets the way she has, and the way she treated Becky. I mean, that was the worst. When Becky was like zombified by the medication she was taking, and the 600-pounder here still had her drive around. She almost caused several accidents in the car. She should not have been driving anymore. And homegirl here needed her food down the gullet, and so she told us that Becky is fine to drive. She's done things that are just stone cold, and never gained any awareness of how stone cold she is.
I think it's because with everything else you know, like anxiety, okay? Take some medicine, try some Zoloft, see if that helps. Bipolar, take some mood stabilizer, see if that helps, you know, but with borderline personality disorder, there isn't really a medicine for that. You have to work.
Which you cannot do. You just run that mouth and you never do anything that is necessary to change your life for the better.
And it's just like, this diagnosis explains literally probably 95% of the reason why I am the way
I'm completely unimpressed.
that I am. And I don't know if I want to like talk about it anymore, because
don't then, because you're not doing anything for your mental health anyway.
Because again, it's hard for me to accept. I don't know why. It's that one thing where I kept telling myself, this can't be real, this can't be true, and it is. And now it's just something else that I have to put in work, and it's just...
No, there's something that you have to put in work. That would be the first thing you put in work for. I do not understand why you keep trying to get credit for things you do not do, like losing weight or improving your life. You're just flapping those jaws. That's all you ever do.
Maybe I feel like it's a bit unfair, and then I have to remind myself life isn't fair, you know? People are dealt their cards, and it's kind of like...
Yeah, and then they just roll over and milk their fate instead of doing something. And look guys, you guys know my life is completely flawed. I'm dealing with my demons, and seeing her, however, not trying anything at all, no diet she put any effort into, her personality has gotten worse. I've never seen anything like it. Has gotten worse over the years instead of better. She's completely delulu when it comes to her personality and her life. She does not feel bad enough about being a 32-year-old, wearing a high pony, talking like a middle schooler, being taken out by her mom to go to places, you know, that retired people go to. You know what I'm saying? There's no self-awareness at all.
How you play them. That's like the motto that I need to live by currently. It's like, okay, my cards were dealt. Now let's play them, you know, in a way that's just gonna make your life more positive. Next,
you've been saying that for years, though. Are you aware of the fact that that is the case?
Next question is, give us the tea on the guy who ghosted you. There's like a rumor that a guy ghosted me. I'm just gonna say right now that that rumor is not real. I don't know where that came from. Any changes you've noticed?
Because you posted it on TikTok. You said somebody was it on TikTok or was it Instagram? I don't even care.
From your hysterectomy. Yes, my hair. My hair is the #1 biggest change besides not having a period. Thank God. My hair, you can't tell now because it is straight, but my hair texture has completely changed. It's like curly and like, it's just like, it looks dry and just not good. It's a texture that I do not like. So that's why I choose to straighten it, so you guys can't tell. But
on top of it, it's thinning, and you only have half of the hair that you had. What? Is she not? She's told us she's rewatching her old videos, and she still doesn't see it.
Top of that, my hair has thinned a lot. My hysterectomy was a full hysterectomy, so I went through menopause at a very young age, obviously. So I'm just like showing symptoms of that, and I know that's like a really big one. And then another one is like, I noticed I get hot and cold a lot quicker than I ever did. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it definitely happened after my hysterectomy. Okay, I've had a lot of people ask if I will be doing Vlogmas this year, and honestly, I don't know. Because
she says this every single year.
My last Vlogmas was my favorite Vlogmas of all time because I remember how I felt.
Wow. Yeah, were you high? I think you were high. And then in January or February, you admitted to additional to take an Ozempic. You were popping the Delta gummies, and that would explain all the screeching. That was just insufferable. OMG.
You guys, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Wait, babe, no, I actually can't breathe. I'm not lying. Babe, I think I'm dying. Wait, we're gonna have to get this off. We're gonna have to get this off. You guys, I can't. It hurts so bad. So obviously I'm too fat for it. So did I just unbuckle it or did you?
No, I did.
Baby, no. Put it buckled. Put it buckled. I want to try one little swirl.
Okay, do one little swirl.
It actually hurts so bad. Okay. I don't want to hit anything. Folks.
Baby, you're about to hit everything.
Where do I go?
Right here.
Okay, will you film me? You guys, this hurts. Ooh, this is gonna be cool to see though, like, once I lose weight. Wait, how do I start it? It's not around my hips, so I look stupid as hell. Ah! Let's go! Okay.
And I don't need for her to do Vlogmas. I don't need that in my life. Because if she did, I would probably do 2 of her videos in one, which means that I wouldn't vlog every single day, but because no.
During it. Not a lot of people have to enjoy it. It's fine. I mean, if you enjoyed it, thank you so much.
Okay, who would enjoy screeching? And the consumerism alone, I mean, you know, more power to you if you have the money, and if you associate Christmas with just throwing material things at the people around you that you've treated like shit throughout the year. Amber, if that is your thing, keep doing it. I want to see you try to do it on the level that you did last year, though, with your income having decreased.
But it's like, for me, a lot of my memories come from like, how did that make me feel? I remember how people make me feel, how situations make me feel.
How drugs make you feel, and you were most definitely popping the gummies during Vlogmas last year.
Above anything else. And I remember Vlogmas making me happy. I felt
because of the gummies.
Happy, I felt at home, I felt content, I was sad for it to end, and
I felt sorry for her neighbors.
It's because of the things I was doing in Vlogmas. I know I just said I wasn't going to talk about Feline much, but she is a very large portion of the reason.
But, and then she, oh, no.
Why I enjoyed Vlogmas so much. I feel like we had a very good time, and so now when I think of Vlogmas, I think of her. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to manage. So for right now, I do not know. I love Vlogmas.
How about self-reflection, Amber? Because you are basically the one that pushed her out of your life. She didn't even want to be your caretaker anymore. I mean, come on. That should tell you something about what you've done wrong.
But do I love it enough to every day be super sad over it? I don't know. Next question is, you should explain your TikToks. Oh my god, my TikToks. A lot of people think that they have like hidden meaning. They don't.
No, I think you're that desperate of a person.
I just really enjoy.
And the lip syncing still sucks. I don't know how she did it. For about 2 clips, it was fine, and now she's back to not being, you know, the sound file not matching the video.
Dancing, lip syncing. Some people call them thirst traps. Definitely not. I'm just kind of, for the lack of a better term, I'm just feeling myself. I don't know.
At 600 pounds, you need to work on something related to your health, to your mental health.
I just enjoy being that. And by that, I don't really know what that means. I just enjoy that. So
okay. You cannot get hammered, go on TikTok and act like a slut, and then come back on YouTube and cry your eyes out about being so depressed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Strange.
If you go to my TikTok and you see, you'll know what I mean. I just enjoy that Amber Lynn. That Amber Lynn to me is fun. What's it?
Oh, the one sticking the middle finger out and telling her audience to F off? Okay.
It's been like getting to reconnect with your mom. It has been so amazing. We have so much time lost that I think that we're trying to make up for. And I have noticed some people saying like, why do you only hang out with your mom? Like, well,
Well, she has no friends, duh.
I mean, I've only been here for a month. My whole life, I didn't have her.
And also, she lives in an apartment complex, no contact to the neighbors, just like before. That woman is not cut out to have social contacts.
And we're both in a situation where we have each other and we're both wanting to build that relationship, whether it's mother-daughter or just a friendship, because at this point right now, it's like she doesn't 100% know how to be a mom, even though she's doing an amazing job. And I don't even know if I know how to be a daughter, as freaking crazy as that.
Of course, your mom doesn't know how to be an adult, and neither do you, so you guys are just hanging out like teenage friends. That is fine. Whatever works for you, go right ahead. I believe that Amber's life has come full circle. She had several relationships back to back to back. None of them worked out because she never changed her ways. She was just being obnoxious and entitled and dishonest and cold-blooded and all the other things we saw her be in her vlogs. And so yeah, why not spend your, what do they call it, the evening of your life with your mom? Why not?
So we're just trying to reconnect, and we're having fun with each other, and we have not just fun with each other, but we have those tough conversations. She has done a lot of apologizing, and we've talked so much about the past, and
I doubt it.
And it's just been really good bonding experience for
Yeah, I doubt it. She can't have a deep going conversation to save her life.
sure. What is the best part of living in Oklahoma besides being closer to family, and what's been the worst part of living in Oklahoma? So the best part is the fact that I actually love it here. I don't know why, but when I lived here when I was 18, it was just for like 6 months or something. I hated it. I don't know if it was like where I was living. I didn't really go anywhere. Now I go a lot of different places, but I just love it. Like, people here are so nice, and I don't know what it is. Like, the energy feels good to me. Worst part has been obviously my random waves of loneliness, for sure. Like, no matter how much family is around you or whatever it may be, sometimes moving to a new place with new surroundings where you have to create a new routine, especially without someone that you love.
Exactly, Amber, and that's why when you take out the trash, or when you walk the Twinkie, or when you do, you know, everyday tasks that you say you do, you run into people. I see you as the type of person that just doesn't want to be outside on her own. What is it called? It's called agoraphobia, and it is a type of an anxiety disorder. A person with agoraphobia is afraid to leave environments they know or consider to be safe. In severe cases, a person with agoraphobia considers their home to be the only safe environment. And we have been listening to Amber say repeatedly that she feels safe at home, which is a statement that is strange. Of course, most of us feel safe at home, but she's been repeating it, you know, a lot. They may avoid leaving their home for days, months, or even years. And I think in Amber's case, she does not relate to the fact that she's eaten herself to this size and looking this grotesque. And so for the past few years, it seems like she's only left the house with other people around her. And so I don't think she's able to make social contacts. And that is something she should look into for herself, not on camera, not for the views, because she's been in that new place for quite a while, and it would have been possible to make social contacts, you know.
It does create a sense of loneliness, and that has been really hard. And I know that obviously another worst thing is going to be tornadoes in the damn summer, ice and snow in the winter. Not looking forward to that.
Well, you're not going to be out there. You're going to be in your apartment having people drive through hazardous road conditions to bring you food, you know?
The question is, what areas of your life are in need of the most improvement? Definitely my weight, like 100%. Do you only leave the apartment on...
And that was it. One sentence answer, that was it. The fact that she's been maintaining or gaining weight, pfft, she doesn't care to talk about that.
On the weekends? No. I leave on the weekends, during the week. just whenever I have plans. Are you going to start uploading on a schedule again soon? I don't know.
I don't want her to. I really don't.
I feel like starting a schedule is only going to make me fail, and I have done too much failing in several areas of my life. So
I'm okay either way. And for you guys that sent me emails and messages, it's been a week since I posted, and I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna finally do what I said I would do, is get more content so that you hear my voice more frequently. And I also invite you to go over to my other channel where I talk about everything but Amber and Chantal and these people that just waste away.
maybe it's best I don't have a schedule right now. How old were you when you graduated high school? I was 18. Okay, so we're going to end there. I feel like this video is super long. I hope that you guys did enjoy it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
But yeah, oh my gosh, I'm almost at an hour. I'm sorry, you guys, but yeah, it's been a week since she posted and since I posted. And so the TikToks, oh my god, so cringy. She's just trying to play it off, but I think she's still trying to land a caretaker. Everything about her screams desperate and lonely and not being able to handle her life without anybody else. I mean, look at the walls behind her. She hasn't even hung up the pictures, and you know, it doesn't seem like she wants to make any changes. She just wants to get her hooks into the next caretaker and then screech at them and drive them away within a couple of years. And yeah, she's gonna be a side character on my channel. I can tell you that because I'm done. This year alone, I mean, her channel went down the drain. And she tried to dig up all those controversial topics, and then she tried with the cake gate and everything. And the entire time she's been gaining weight. And I don't know. I don't know. There's no change in sight, and it's her life. And eventually we're gonna have to deal with the fact that she won't post anymore because she's finally eaten herself into the grave. But yeah, thank you for listening to this. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.